It is Saturday, May 3rd, and I am here starting my next reading vlog. And this one I'm going to be reading The Bone Season. I am only on chapter 4. I'm not very far because I did want to start this from the beginning in the reading vlog and not get too ahead of myself. I'm just really excited about this book. I did start it on Thursday after I finished up my last reading vlog of Regretting You and got a couple chapters in, and then I was busy Friday, so I didn't get to read, and I read chapter 3 today. So we're not very far. What are we? We are 40 pages in to the revision. I think it says it on the, fully revised with new material of Bone Season by Samantha Shannon. I am loving it so much so far. I'm really just have been looking forward to this book. As you can see in my last vlog, I was contemplating reading this and that one, but I want to kind of get on a structured timeline of putting out my vlogs and completing the things I read in them. So that would also help with my reading goals. But I want to finish this one this week, and this will go from Saturday, today, to Friday. And we'll see if I like that format this month. I also, if I can finish this in a timely manner, I do want to try to read one more book. And I have it picked out. It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. It's the book that follows It Ends With Us, because I got that one when it came out and I never read it, and I just need to get it done. But we will see what I'm in for the mood for after this. I have a TBR that is all over the place as the one I made for April that I didn't follow. And it's a little more structured, and I feel like it might go better. I'm not going to be too hard on myself with the TBRs, which I'll talk about when I film that. But Bone Season is about a girl named Paige Mahoney, who in this world, people are just like normal people, and they have, I think it's like arithmetic or something. I don't know how to pronounce it. That's just how I say it when I'm reading. Or a thematic? I don't know. Maybe I'll pop the word up if I remember to when editing. But they're just basically normal people with no abilities, and then there's the other group of people that are clairvoyants, and they're broken down into like different categories, and within the categories there's different types. So she is a very rare one called a dream walker, and she is part of the criminal underworld, because basically clairvoyants are just kind of executed right away if they're caught in this book. And this starts with her doing something for her crime boss, and then she goes to visit her father, has an altercation, ends up getting taken, and you kind of what is it? What's the best way to... There's like this group of... She gets taken, and then she wakes up. She thinks she's going to be like, you know, done for it. Or like just once they catch her, just not wake up ever again. But she ends up waking up in this place that's like... I think they say it's like where Oxford is. Prior to this, Oxford was like wiped off by this mysterious event, and then nobody's allowed to like fly over it, enter it, do anything. And she kind of wakes up there, and there's these different group of people. They're basically aliens, and they want to use these clairvoyants that have been taken to fight off these creatures that destroyed their world. I could be saying that so wrong, but that is kind of what I remember, and I am not too far into it. It happens like right away. She is like in this world right at chapter 4, so it moves at a good pace. I am really excited to see the changes. I even have my old copy out just so I can try to follow along with it. I love this copy, but I think these new ones are so beautiful. I can't wait till the 5th one comes out in paperback. But that is what we're reading. I will kind of update you a little bit more in my next check-in. With this reading vlog, I want to try not to do spoilers. I feel like when I sit down to talk about the books, I just say what I'm thinking, and I don't want everything I talk about to be spoilery. So like there is some enjoyment if anyone else wants to read this. So that is where we're at. I think I said it's about 2:30. I've been doing random stuff, editing the vlog I put out this morning, cleaning the apartment. It's beautiful outside, so Ted and I have been out. And then I've been kind of marathoning Bob's Burgers because that's my favorite show in between everything. But I am gonna eat lunch, and then I kind of want to sit on the deck and get a little bit into this. I also would like to work on my sunflower granny square blanket. I do have my reading one, but I'm kind of just letting those stack up. We have 4 that we need to make. I might just let it stack up to about 10 because I can get those out pretty quick. But I am gonna work on this blanket. So this is my first 10 crocheted together. My other 10 are on my, I can never remember what it's called. It's the blocking thing you buy to block your granny squares. They're on there. I'm gonna stitch those together today and then put them to this because I'm trying to do it as I go. And then I wouldn't mind trying to do some diamond painting because I have a huge one taking up my whole kitchen table, but we will see. Other than that, that is my check-in. I will be back later, and I hope everyone's having a good Saturday. With a check-in. It is Sunday, about 7:45 a.m. when I last looked. I'm about to go outside and read a little bit of my book. I haven't gotten too far. I'm on chapter 6 now, page 68, but I thought I'd pop in. This is the outfit. I'm in my Snuggie so I can go sit outside because it's like 45 degrees. But it's supposed to get up to 75 today, which would be really nice. I'm trying to think here if we don't really have much of an update. I'm really liking it. So far from what I remember, it's following. I don't know how much I'll look between this re-edited version and the old, but still seems pretty familiar. I know the author updated some of the plot and then fleshed out some of the characters a little bit more, and then I know she changed the love interest, Warden, a bit from how he used to be. But I'm pretty excited for this. I just realized that, I think I said it yesterday, that these Repham, I don't know if that's how you say it, that where all these clairvoyants are now, and this, oh my gosh, where Oxford used to be. It's just that vibe is so, I remember how much I liked that vibe. And then those Repham are like aliens, basically. They come from the netherworld. But where the world is, it's just kind of cool because it's just gothic castles, eerie setting. There's only so far you can go. You want to stay in the light because in this world you sleep during day and you're out during the night and you want to stay where most of the light is, because the the monsters that want to destroy Earth, hide in the darkness. And it sounds like when this place was bombed, I don't actually think it was bombed. I don't know why I said that. When it was like destroyed and people thought that's what happened, it seems like the outer part of it was wrecked, because it's like, seems like, I picture it as like the city in the middle with the houses and the things that are going on, very like old Gothic vibes, just how it's kind of described. And then on the outside it was kind of abandoned, and kind of the forest has taken place, like come in, and that's where the Enum hide. So if you can get past that, which is hard to get past because the Enum like take your entire souls, there is no like afterlife for you, and then they also eat you. So that's wonderful. You have to get past them, and then you can get back to the real world. We'll see, we'll come back with it, but I just thought that was interesting. So if you kind of like that Gothic vibe, it kind of gives that. I really like that. I also like books where things take place all in one space. So that's where this setting is. There's also so when they come there, all the clairvoyants have to test to get into this special group that fights the Enum, and if you like don't pass, you become basically like one of the homeless people in this town. They kind of just throw you out, and all of them have to be the entertainers for all the red coats, because the people who fight and wear red coats, that sounds weird because that's another term for history, but entertain them, and then entertain the rest of the of this race of alien people there, the Refim. They like entertain them, and if they can't do that, they kind of just die. And our main character just met one of the other ladies named Liz that plays a big part in this book. And it's kind of sad because all of these people, they just are stuck in like tents and barely get any food and are treated really poorly. And they talk about how every 10 years, a big group of like clairvoyants that are like a little bit more special or unique are collected and brought to this place. What is this place called? Shiloh 1, I think it's called. They're brought there, but it's only every 10 years. So like some of these people that came in Paige's group, like she was caught a few days before they were all brought here for the bone season, is what they're in. There's one bone season every 10 years. She was brought for that. But like some of those people that came with her have been sitting in like, I think it's called the Tower. It's a tower in London. They've been sitting in there for a decade until they get to come do this. So that was interesting. That's kind of my small update. I will be back later today with a better one. Happy Sunday. Fix the angle. I was saying now I don't want to wear makeup ever. I don't know why. And I still like it. Like when other people put it on, I think it's great, but I do not want to wear any. And it's been that way for almost a year now, which is really strange for me, but I just can't get myself to do it. So I guess I'm just not going to make myself until hopefully I want to again someday. I did start wearing it for about 8 weeks when I transitioned from my old job to my new job. But then I didn't want to do it again once I got into it. I don't know what it is. I just think it's so weird. Because if you would have known me in real life, I used to wear makeup all the time. I was so into like that beauty community. But now there's just like no interest, and it's a little frustrating. But that's just kind of a tangent, because when I was getting ready, I was just like, I should put some makeup on. But there's like just no interest in putting on my face. And it's not everything else. It's just foundation. Like it's something with one day I literally woke up and the idea of foundation just like grossed me out all of a sudden. And I don't understand why that happened. But it's something with that liquidiness that I cannot convince myself that I'm going to put it on my face. Mixed with that, I get so warm, I kind of do not wear it as much in the summertime, but I just thought that was so weird. And I thought about that again today when I was getting ready to film those 2 videos. I was like, I would love to put some on, but there's just like no interest in putting it on. Anyway, besides that, we've gotten so much farther in this. We have a little bit more of a relationship developing between Warden and Paige. And she makes me laugh so hard. I have a couple tabs in here, just no color coordination, just some random things that just like I literally laugh out loud because she's just sarcastic and it's funny. And he just lets her be. Like, you can tell there's like this part of him that's amused / annoyed by it, but it's just hilarious. She just quips right back at him. I do like Warden. He is a lot softer. I know I mentioned that before. We're also seeing a little bit more of her training and the the range of her abilities as she practices. She just did something cool with like animals and how their dreamscapes are different than our, like the human dreamscape. And then the Refim, I'm saying that so long. We're just gonna call them the refs, so I don't sound super ridiculous. Their dreamscape's even more complex, and they kind of just talk about that more, and I find it really interesting because the whole build up of this is really cool. Like, and in the back of the book there is all these dreamscape, like the 7 clairvoyants, and then all the different clairvoyants in those classes of clairvoyancy. And just like I have to kind of go back, and then there's a whole new language, not a whole new language, but like words in here that mean different things. So there's like a glossary for that, and then the characters and what kind of clairvoyants they are. And I really like that. I kind of jump around looking at that all the time, and I find that really interesting. You can just tell there's gonna be so much that comes in this series, and I love this first book, and rereading it, I'm kind of falling back in love with that, but I can just also tell that there's so much more we're not getting. Also, Julian is one of Paige's friends in this book, and he is not telling you what kind of clairvoyance he is, and I cannot remember if you learn in this book, but I went to the back to see what he was, and it doesn't tell you what he's there either. And I might have Googled for like a few minutes to see if I could find what kind of clairvoyant he is, and it didn't say anywhere. I'm sure if you dig deep enough it's there, but I didn't want to spoil too much in case maybe he dies or something in the book. So I kind of made myself stop, but I want to know what he is, and you don't know. So I don't know. I'm on page 214. I'm thinking maybe get up to 314. I could probably easily eat up another 100 pages of this, and I'll check in probably this evening. I don't have much more to say. It is beautiful outside. I think it's close to 75, 76 now. There's no wind, so it's kind of like a steady heat. I let Jakaris go outside a little bit this afternoon. I think it was like 12-ish. So she could enjoy a little bit of it, just not too long, because it's not that warm where they should be outside too long, but they really do like to sit out there. So she went on our walk. I have a little pouch I carry her in, and then she sat outside for a little bit, and I'm a heater, but she stayed nice and warm. But now she's napping because, you know, it's hard being carried. And now I'm going to take the other dragon outside and let him walk around in this field over here that doesn't get sprayed. I don't really want him eating anything. I picked some of my dandelions from there, even though I did order dandelions and clover because they're really good for bearded dragons. I ordered some of that to plant my own. I just like to wash them because when I pick them, there's like little bugs, and I don't want them to get sick, but I do want him to go frolic a little bit since that field is pesticide. It's not a field, it's a big empty lot that I'm pretty sure the church or the business I own lives by, but outside of getting mowed occasionally, it's not sprayed or anything like that. So I like to go over there with them so they can walk around, and then Ted, and the grass isn't dangerous or poisoned, because dogs even like to eat grass, even though they shouldn't, but mine will not stop eating grass and it annoys me. But it's safe over there, chemical wise, which is nice. But I'm gonna go do that. Then I'm gonna come back and eat, as I did not eat lunch, but I'm just gonna skip lunch and go to dinner, read. I uploaded all my clips. I'm gonna put those in order, and then I'll check in one more time probably today, and we'll see where I'm at. Otherwise, the weekend's going great. Hopefully everyone is going great as well. Good morning. It is Monday. I am about 30 minutes till I have to leave for work, so I want to do a quick check-in because I didn't do that last night. I remember at my last check-in I said I was gonna read, and then I didn't think I was, but I did end up doing it. I was on 215, now I'm up to 278. I do have a couple little tabs on here where I don't know if you can even see them. They're right there. Where I would like to get today and then tomorrow. I'm kind of trying to see where I'm trying to chunk it out just to make progress, but if I end up not liking, like, saying where I need to get by the end of the day, I'll definitely just stop doing that. But I would like to get up to I'd like to get up to 365 today, so that's just under 100 pages. I feel like that's really doable. We will see. So far I'm really liking this. I don't know if I mentioned this, so these humans with clairvoyancy are taken to the Rephaim, and they use them to like fight these monsters from their world, the Enum, but they test them before they let them be redcoats. So you start as a white, then you become a pink after your first test, then you become a red after your second test, and then if you ever like show cowardness or anything, you become a yellow, and then you go live with all the people who like do the entertaining for all of the redcoats and then all of the refs. And she just took her second test, and that was really interesting because you got to see an Enum and a little bit more of like what clairvoyance can do with like spirits, and that's all I'll really say on that because I'm going to try not to spoil any of this. So that was really interesting. There was also a situation where one of, I guess you could call them Paige's allies / friends in this book, kind of went through something where a group of the redcoats wanted to attack Paige for something she did in this book, and ended up kind of in a sense almost did something to this one character that puts them in like, what is it called? Spirit shock? Because some clairvoyancy like comes in through objects like cards, scrying, sticks, stone, like they use different things. So that happened, and I don't really remember what happens to her. Warden and her are not really making too much progress. Like they kind of get better. You can see, like, this is true, because it's not really a spoiler because you'll get it. He is the love interest for her. But this is like true maybe not true enemies to lovers, because he doesn't hate her technically, but she hates him. So like you can see it starting to like lean that she's getting a little bit better, but not really. Another thing with this book is while she's in this location where she's being held and that's secret from the rest of the world, you do get flashbacks of her life, like her becoming part of Jackson Hall's syndicate. She's from a syndicate of 7, the 7 Seals, that more of them being introduced, how she like met different members of her, it has to be a gang, of her syndicate or whatever, how she feels being a part of it. You get to see all of that. Even you can see a flashback. So she's Irish, and in this world, Ireland is called the free country. So like it takes place on Earth, but not as we see it. I think America is still a thing because they talk about that in one part, but it's not exactly the same. And then the Republic of Sion is like 4 or 5 different countries, and like Ireland is not a place anymore because the Republic comes through and like wipes out that whole entire movement that was protesting against it, and you kind of get to see what happens there and what happens to her family in that situation. So that is also interesting. But that is kind of where we are now. I'll probably check in this evening when I can actually read, because I will not be able to read until I get off work at 5. So we shall see, but that is where I'm at now. I actually think when I get home, I'm gonna walk Ted, I'm gonna do my Bible study, and then I want to do reading sprints tonight. So I think I'm gonna get those 2 things are my big things, and then do that, and then I really need to work on my writing. So that'll probably be tomorrow, but that is my plan this evening. I probably have a busy day today, so I'm gonna get my dog out for his potty before I go to work. He is the last step of the day because he does not like that I go to work, so he goes out last. And then I'm gonna head out. So I will see you guys again this evening. Holy most, talk about the most atrocious angle ever. I'm here with a really quick check-in. It is 10:30. I'm about to go to bed probably in the next 20 minutes. But I need to check in on the bone season. Oh my gosh. I like knew I loved it when I read it the first time, but I love this so much more. I feel like the spine's denting a little bit. Not bad because there's no lines. I don't like when lines get on the spines. But I am that far in. The book ends at this blue tab I have here. Right here. This little blue tab. So I have this much left. I think it's $3.65. And then it's $4.95 is the last page. So what is that? About 130 pages left. I would love to finish this tomorrow. I don't know for sure if that's going to be the goal, but that would also kind of not have me doing anything else. And I try to kind of have like a balanced evening of getting things I don't really want to do done and do want to do. I don't know. Doesn't matter. But I like to have a balanced evening where I don't just come home from work and read for 7 hours straight, even though that would be wonderful sometimes, but there are other things I need to do. And I have such a horrible breakout right now. I can't really even hide it. But I read another 80-ish pages today, and this is getting so good. We're definitely getting to the climax of the book, and I remember it kind of vaguely. There is one scene that I think is taken out. It could pop up because there is 130 pages left. I'm not even going to say it because maybe the scene's not out. Maybe it hasn't happened yet. So we'll hold off there. But we just got to one of my favorite parts where they like go back to London for a little bit. And there's some like interactions with other groups of people, and I love that scene. I also love that there is like some trust between Warden and Paige now, and you kind of learn who he actually is, and it's getting really, really good. There's not so much I can say without ruining it, and I'm trying not to be such a spoiler person here, but I feel like I made a grave mistake in my TBR because I low-key would love to pick up the second book, The Meme Order. I do have it written on my TBR for May, but I wouldn't mind just reading it next. We will see. I don't want to deter so far off what I had planned that quick, but I'm going to have to see because I do know this ends on a cliffhanger, and I have not read the second book, so I kind of would like to keep going. I'm going to see what I feel at the end. I do have like a plan for this month, and look at me. After one book, I already want to go off the TBR plan. But this is so, so, so good. If you have not read The Bone Season, please read it. Just read it. It's so good. It's so different. Kind of like how I talked about The Will of the Many. Like, The Will of the Many is just the best thing ever. And this is amazing too. Like, but this is so unique to itself. I also did not know that Samantha Shannon was 20, I think, when this came out. So awesome. Kudos to her. There's also going to be a third Priory to the Orange Tree in that series. I've only read the first one and I loved it, but I'll buy that book just for the dragon. But regardless, read this. It's just so different. And if you like clairvoyancy or clairvoyance and like kind of like I feel like it's kind of a dystopian world. Like, it's different politics, like different things happened when the clairvoyant kind of became a rise. So like, it's in a way it's dystopian-ish, because isn't dystopian just when it's like our world, but then something shifts and it changes? Isn't that what it is? What kind of makes something dystopian? Is it still on Earth, but it's like everything's like continent-wise is still the same, but like the government and how things are ran, that changes? I could be totally wrong, but I am really loving this. I love how chunky this book is too. The end of it has the Pale Dreamers story, so I might read that at the end, and that comes before the Bone Season. But I'm loving this book. Also, this is so weird. I love this book for its chunkiness and its floppiness. I think the cover is beautiful, and it just like feels good in my hands, which is so weird. I've tabbed a few things. I'm not annotating. I've just tabbed some moments where I laughed out loud or I just really liked them. Like, there's a note Warden writes to Paige, and I tabbed that, and some reveals I tabbed, so nothing crazy, which is kind of my favorite way to tab, is when I just highlight and nothing's coordinated. But I love it so much. I don't know what I rated this book. Gosh, I have the hiccups now. I don't know what I rated this last time. I'll have to come back with that in my next check-in, but I wanted to... Okay, I gotta wrap it up because I have hiccups. But I just wanted to pop in and do an update and say we're almost to the end. Really loving it. Recommend you read this. And I will be back tomorrow. This is just the look right now before bed. But I will check in later. a morning check-in. Sorry if my shirt's a little weird. I'm just trying to cover up the logo on this side. So I'm going to try to make this a little bit quick. I filmed some B-roll yesterday, which was Tuesday, but I did not do an update. I also left my tripod outside. Thank goodness it didn't rain. It was just on my deck and there are no steps up to my deck, so it was fine, but such a weird thing to do. But I finished the Bone season. I gave it 5 stars. I love this book. I think this book is so good. It was just amazing. I also love at the end, Warden refers to Paige as Little Dreamer. It's so cute. And I like that Paige kind of stands up for what she wants at the end, and the battle scene's epic. And some more people show up to like help because she's part of like the rebellion to fight, you know, I think it's Sargas, that's how I pronounce it. It could be totally wrong, but they're kind of like the royal family of the Ruffs, because kind of your villain in this book is Nashira, who in a sense is kind of the queen of them. And then her consort is Warden, our main MC. But there's just kind of like this epic battle at the end, and it's really cool, and a lot of stuff happens, and there's some heart-wrenching, and it was so great. I did pull the meme order off my shelf, which totally deters me from my, what am I thinking? My TBR for May. But I really want to read this. I haven't decided yet. This one picks up right where this one ends. Like, right where this one ends. They could continuously flow with each other. Because I did look at the first chapter, and it's literally like no time passes. It's just the next like minute is this book, or the next hour you're in this book, something like that. But they literally follow, and that's kind of exciting. And I just want to know what happens. Like, I reread this and I never continued. Why? Don't know. But it's kind of, part of me is like, I just want to see what happens. There's 5 books out in this series so far, and 2 more that need to be published. I kind of just want to know what happens. I'm also obsessed with these paperbacks. I don't know if I think it's just a combination of the beautiful cover and the floppiness and the chunkiness, and I love it. So I'm debating picking up the meme order next and continuing with the story, or following my TBR and reading It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I wouldn't be mad with either, but I'm still want to just know what happens next. I'm probably going to try to force myself to stick to the TBR. Not force. I'm still happy with everything that's on the TBR, but I kind of just want to stay in this world. So we'll see. But that is my quick check-in before I head out the door to go to work. And kind of where we're at. So I will tell you what I start reading tonight. It is Wednesday. I don't think I said that. I want to wrap this up Friday. And even though I did read this pretty quick, because I started it on Saturday, so it was only about 4 days to read this. I don't know if that's possible with this, just because I did get to read like over half of this on the weekend. And as much as I love reading, there are other things I need to get done during the work week. And I don't have the time to put down another 500-page book in the next 3 days if I don't want to do anything else. And this week, there's just like kind of a lot. I don't know why I spaced out there. There's just a lot going on. I need to get things situated here tonight. My cousin might want to hang out tomorrow. And then there's some work being done on my apartment this weekend, because my landlords are my neighbors, and they just want to stay in the deck and repaint the steps. So I'm gonna leave for the weekend just so they can, you know, have the space. And that kind of takes Thursday and Friday night, a decent chunk of that away. So, but we'll see. Maybe I'll let myself, reading's supposed to be what I love, so maybe I'll read this and wrap it up in the next vlog. I've kind of thought about that too, since I had those 2 books for substitution. I could just sub in this one. and just kind of move everything down to May's TBR as I go. It's not taking me too far off because I did put this one on June's TBR. So we'll see. But I'm in love. I love these covers. I say that so much. I think these are so beautiful. And the other two are right there. And they're beautiful too. And I really want the fifth one just because when I kind of start getting a series, I like to collect them. But the fifth one just came out in February and I don't think you can buy it in paperback yet. And I would love them all to match. But that is my rambly check-in. Happy Wednesday. Hello, I am here with the check-in. Oh my gosh, when did I last read? Was it Tuesday? I finished the Bone season and I've been stuck between the meme order and It Starts With Us since yesterday. So angle's really awkward because I forgot to bring my tripod, so I'm balancing this on water bottles and I have to like scrunch down a little bit. I'm also a little bit of a disaster because I just got back from a nice long walk with the two dogs. But I did pick a book finally. The funny thing is I started the meme order yesterday and got to page 10. Still really want to read it, but I did break and watch It Ends With Us when I said I never would because I was so scared. Just like with everything that's said about what's going on, that doesn't really even have, I mean, it has something to do with the film, but doesn't really have anything to do with like what the book or the story is. And then the changes that were made, I was so scared to watch it, but I did watch it. I did like it. But It Ends With Us is like one of my favorite books. So I did start It Starts With Us. I don't know how far in I am. I don't think I'm that far yet. I wanted to say, oh gosh, I think I'm like way farther than I think I am. Hold on one second. Let me figure out where I'm at in this book. All right, so back, I'm actually a decent chunk in. I'm on page 77, chapter 11, I believe. Atlas and Lily are going on their first date. This book is supposed to be a lot more like light and fluffy and kind of like the happy ending for Lily and Atlas because they had such tough beginnings, and as we know in the first book, a lot goes down. So this is supposed to be lighter because it's not the same vibe as It Ends With Us. And Ends With Us was tough. This is kind of just like their ending, and it kind of makes me really happy. So we'll see. I'm gonna pop this back on. listen to it a little bit, read a little bit of it, do my usual hybrid. I'm going to eat some lunch. It's 11:30. And I kind of want to close my eyes and take a tiny little nap for a little bit because I'm a little bit tired. I usually don't sleep super well when I'm not in my bed, which is normal, but I want to pop on and say that this is what I'm picking. I wanted my reading vlogs to be, I was going to shoot for Saturday to Friday, but I did not pick a book until literally this morning, and I would like to include this in this vlog. So I'm going to read this. Hopingly, oh, that's not a word. Hopefully I can finish this by the time I leave tomorrow. That's kind of, oh gosh. I heard little feet walking on the tile and I thought my dog was doing something weird, but they're both laying down. It's my bearded dragon. I need to go get her. She was looking out the window, but I don't even know what I'm saying. Oh, I think it's like, probably seems like a lot that I'm reading this book. Oh, here she comes. Jakaris is in the kitchen. She's just sitting in the sitting area. She's such a little goof. It seems kind of ambitious, but I feel like I read these pretty quick. And this one's only 320 pages. And I don't know, I feel like we can do this. I only got 230 left, right? So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I won't rush it, but besides my walk I wanted to do today, and then I'm going golfing later, I pretty much have a pretty open day. So hopefully we can get this done and we can start another book tomorrow. I'm trying to convince myself to put the meme order aside and let it be part of May's TBR and stick to the plan. We shall see, though. I'm going to go chase a bearded dragon around. Then I will be back later. Hope everyone... Tuesday, May 13th. I am just here to wrap up quick and then I'm starting my next reading vlog. I did finish this book on Sunday. I just never filmed a clip and then I tried to wrap it up last night, but I was too much of a mess. I figured I'd wait a little bit. If you hear any sound over here, it's just my lunch. I'm on lunch break warming up so I can eat that. But I finished It Starts With Us. I read this in 2 days. I just think it's crazy how quick I can get through Colleen Hoover. I really liked this. I really liked the message it gave also after being able to like sit on it a few days and think about it. I have not started a new book yet. This one follows, it literally picks up right after where it ends with us. Stops, like it just rolls right over, which I love that. And this one you get Atlas and Lily's perspectives. And this one kind of just follows them getting to be together and going through those steps. Two things I want to say about it before I close this out is one, I really like Atlas. I like getting to see more Atlas, getting to see his struggles, getting to learn more about his past. That was really great. He also gets a brother in this book, and I won't talk too much about that, but I like, there's a scene in here towards the end with his brother that actually makes me tear up. And then I also like the fact that the second thing about it is kind of like how it ends with this, kind of ends with the generational trauma of like what Lily goes through, but It Starts With Us is kind of like Atlas and Lily and Atlas's brother, and just like how they start something new, especially with Atlas and his brother, like getting out of where they were and creating like a new family. And I think that's really great. That like makes me smile just thinking about it, is how both of them, I think the brother's name is Josh, how both of them just kind of struggling, like how Atlas struggled the whole time and then you get to watch Josh struggle, but then they choose to just like cut ends with what they have and start their new family. And it's really, there's like a scene in particular that makes sense for what I'm saying, and it has to do with like family trees, and it really hits hard right there. But I loved that, and I love getting to see Atlas, because Atlas is one of my favorite male characters. I have like a lot of favorite male characters, and then I have a top 5, which are ones that I'm just like, are qualities or things I'd want to see in like a person I'd be interested in, and then the rest of them are all just like fictional, think you're great. And Atlas makes my top 5, even though there's only 4 in there. But I love Atlas. I think Atlas is like honestly a perfect character with everything he's gone through. So that is kind of the wrap up of this book. I am going to be reading Hair of Fire by Sarah J. Maas in my next reading vlog that I'm going to start today. And I will see you in the next vlog.